Frank and the Knights of the Ecoquest. King Frank and the Knights of the Ecoquest. King Frank and the Knights of the Ecoquest.
Episode 10. The Impossible Puzzle.
After crossing the terrain of deforestation, the knights hit bad weather at their next location. Torrential rain and an oncoming flood made the way ahead marshy with mud. Katrain, Alf and Leofric stopped in their tracks. There was danger ahead, another setback. Out of the forest, a mysterious form stealthily plodded through the storm.
Oh, so now which monstrous pile of junk have we got to fight? And in all this weather, it's not right. 1 minute it's hot, the next it's a tsunami, then rain. One extreme to another, then it happens again.
The knights wondered what creature might rise from its lair and were surprised to see a massive brown bear.
Alf, Leofric, I'll handle it. Don't be alarmed. Great brown bear, we are friendly knights and mean no harm.
Good nights, I am weary, stand not in my way. For I've traversed sea and land many nights and days. I've wandered beneath the sun and stars from the realm of the Arctic, that land afar.
The Arctic? What were you doing there, brown bear?
I am not a brown bear, but a polar bear.
But you're brown, not white.
I'll tell you why this is my plight. My habitat was so quick to pass, my home was destroyed by greenhouse gas. Alone on an ice floe without wellies or mac, I survived the melting polar ice cap. Take a look at that mountain range. It's also affected by climate change. Warmer weather makes those glaciers thaw. And when sea levels rise, waves will lash at your door.
That's what I was telling these two. Weather keeps changing.
Yes, the climate's all askew. As temperatures rise, snowpack disappears. Their melt happens earlier in the year. As the snowpack shrinks, supply to our rivers is on the brink. And as Earth heats up several-fold, it increases the water the atmosphere holds.
More rain, then? Oh, no.
Afraid so. As I wandered and global warming occurred, look what happened. Forest fires scorched my fur, I'm burnt. I was singed and charred as I fled the flames. That's why I look different to my polar name. My advice, take some other route across this terrain. I don't want you to end up the same.
But what of you, courageous bear? Will you journey with us or travel elsewhere?
My journey is over. My paws, they are sore. I'm injured and know I can't walk anymore.
As for us, we must continue our eco-quest. Until we find the treasure, we cannot rest. We've heard from our princess, queen and king of the fountain of Frank, which is fed by a spring. Fresh, clean water for our kingdom's health, so our people can work and create wealth.
It is true, such a fountain many years back was known to the Arctic polar bear pack. It was just a story we had all heard. Some believed in it, some thought it absurd that a forgotten kingdom had lost a pure spring of life-giving water for all living things.
Can you remember the details of the story? Do you remember where it said the fountain might be?
Not exactly, but one dramatic day after an ocean dive, the fountain story became very much alive. As I surfaced, a young cub came up to me and showed me a map he'd found in the sea. The map held a vast amount of information about the world's pure water locations.
This sounds promising. Pure water is the aim of our quest.
Then listen. You'll be amazed by the rest. On the front was a message, a faded black scrawl, which I read out to bears, seals, whales, and narwhals. This map will look blank to the reader's eyes, unless the holder can swiftly supply an acrostic poem the magic map likes. Then it will reveal the details inside.
What's an acrostic?
You choose a word like Alf. Each letter of Alf forms the start of a line. A for animals, L for like, F for fur. Try it sometime. It spells Alf if you read down the first letters of the 3 lines.
There's one other challenge that makes matters worse. A water-based theme must be in the verse. But back to the map and that young cub. That careless bear let the wind blow the map in the air. and a snowy owl out hunting that day snatched up the map and hid it away.
Maybe it was that same bird that stole our dowsing twig. Think it was white, lots of feathers, quite big.
To continue, I knew the owl and asked her to swap the map for a lemming, a weasel or fox. That was the food her owlets preferred. I also offered her squirrels and birds.
And did she agree to your food for map deal?
She was happy to trade it for such a meal.
So do you have the map? Can we see it too?
Be my guest, but you will see nothing on the inside. It's useless unless an acrostic you write.
We all have minds creative and quick to come up with a poem known as an acrostic.
How about writing one about the thaw at the polar ice cap? That will surely reveal what we need from the map.
The acrostic took them quite a bit of time. Then Leofric stood poised and recited the rhyme.
Arctic at risk as climate change thaws ice cap. A is for Arctic, R is for risk, C is for climate change, T is for thaws, I is for ice, and C is for cap.
Well, anyone could do that.
Something about my home in the Arctic. That's wonderful, and that's an acrostic.
The map started glowing and each corner curled. The rest of the parchment began to unfurl. Inside was a drawing of the Kingdom of Frank. But the fountain's location still drew a blank.
Wait! This map has a kenning scrolled here.
Something that needs solving again, I fear.
Oh, no, not another. I'm not impressed. What's a kenning? Another poetry test?
These two short lines here in the middle form a short poem that's actually a riddle. It describes something without giving its name. This one hides the location of the fountain.
Katrine read the kenning and pondered the words. Alf thought the riddle was somewhat absurd. Leofric quizzingly mumbled the rhyme and read out the lines time after time.
Echo chamber. Pitch black. Echo chamber. Pitch black.
What can it mean?
Remains to be seen.
Take the map and continue your quest. I hope you'll pass the kenning test. In exchange for this map, bold Eco Knights, ask your king and queen to consider our plight. Remember me and the loss of our ice. Go safely and well, good gallant knights.
The undaunted, unshrinking, unflinching three set out in the day's sweltering heat.
This isn't a joke, but can anyone smell smoke?
I'm just remembering what the polar bear said. Yeah, me.
Smoke all right. Definitely.
As they climbed a track that took them higher, they were confronted by flames of forest fire.
If only we in the world did enough to help prevent this climate change stuff. The bear was right, but we have to go through. Gallop at speed, on my cue.
Mum always told me how quick fire spreads and not to play with matches or take a candle to bed.
Thanks for your tips on fire prevention. I must protect my poems.
Give saving that map your full attention.
All safe and sound.
There's fire all around.
The flames are making ground.
There's no way through. There's a wall of fire ahead. We're going to end up roasted like hogs' heads.
They're getting higher.
So much for climate deniers. Prepare to jump unless you want to end up on a burning pyre. Advance with speed through the forest fire.
King Frank and the Knights of the Ecoquest is a soundscape production for fun kids, supported by the Audio Content Fund.
King Frank and the Knights of the Ecoquest.